Alright, well, happy Friday morning to you all. It's January 6th, I think, something like that. About 2 days after I dropped this off. It's about 10 in the morning, picking this up to head back to the warehouse, get some work done. I will show a picture here of the repair thing. All I had to pay for was an oil change, which is what I wanted anyway. The stator cover leak is a known issue from Honda, and they're just asking the dealers to go ahead and pull the stator cover off and use Honda Bond gasket sealant stuff around that grommet that's on the front side of the stator cover to fix the leak. So as long as the cover comes off without damaging the original gasket, they probably don't even need to replace that. They just need to seal around that front gland or grommet. So anyway, that was done under warranty, no problem. Oh wow, check out the bug carnage from my last trip. This thing has not been washed since then. Anywho, I'm gonna get on the road, and I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I have no clue yet. Weather's great today. It was extremely foggy this morning, like dense fog advisory. Pea soup, man, you couldn't see through it. But now it is burned off, warmed up. It's fantastic out here. Temperature today is supposed to be low 70s. I think this weekend we're in for some rain, if I remember the forecast correctly. We had a storm coming in for midday Saturday through Sunday, something like that. So that's going to be a little wet and soggy this weekend. I thought about getting out and doing a motorcycle camping trip, but I don't know. Might do a little scamping trip, scooter camp, I don't know. If I decide to do that, I got to get my stuff packed up and ready to go sooner rather than later. Alright, I ain't waiting. So I was checking the prices for the Betzler Cruise Techs. Where you going, dude? I really don't want to be behind you on your ladders. Okay. Anyway, I was checking prices on the Betzler Cruise Techs, and holy hell, have tires gotten expensive over the last 6 months or a year. It's crazy. Like the little Michelin City grips for my scooter, the last couple sets of those that I purchased were like, I don't even remember, $38 and $47 for the front and rear. So under 50 bucks a tire easily. Now they've doubled. They're like $90 for the rear and 80 something for the front. In fact, the size that I want to put on the rear of the PCX 150 is like $120 for a scooter tire. Come on, man. Anyway, so the Betzler Cruise Techs for this thing have gone up to almost $300 for the rear tire, and I can't even remember what the front one was. It was, I don't know, $260 or something like that. So basically, tax and all the stuff, not including mount and balance, it's going to come out to about $600 for a new pair of shoes on this. Ouch. Now again, the front doesn't need replaced yet, but the rear is getting pretty thin, so. I didn't pull the trigger on that yet, not today. I still have a few miles left in the rear of this, so I'll get mine ordered and waiting for me, and then I'll go do some burnouts and gumball the back end of this thing, have some fun with it. I need to get some of my moto projects going. I owe a couple of videos to QuasiMotard. They sent me 3 different products to do reviews on, and I wasn't feeling very well in the early part of December. Was kind of under the weather for a couple of weeks, and then with the holiday schedule and everything else, I'm just running way behind, so I haven't gotten into any of my projects. This was the first one of that to-do list that I had going, was to fix the oil leak on this and do tires on it, but talked about that. Skipping the tires for right now. But I need to do the Navi project, so I'm going to probably bring the Navi home today. Haven't decided yet for sure, because the weather's going to be crap this weekend, rain and thunderstorms and whatnot, but I need to set up the camera gear in the driveway and do a tail tidy install on the Navi. And what was really holding me back on doing that many weeks ago is I want to do the LED and AC to DC conversion on it at the same time. What the hell is that? I don't know. Yep, they're just scooting over to let me know. That was nice. Kind of felt that was what they were doing. I didn't want to go tearing into the Navi 3, 4, or 5 times, you know, at a little piecemeal. I would rather do all of that project at once, film it all at once, and then I'll break it up into separate project videos or whatever. So when I pull the rear cowl assembly apart on that and do the tail tidy, you know, get rid of the big ugly license plate brackets and the reflector brackets and all that back there, I'm going to do the LED rear tail light at the same time. I'm sticking with the original housing. I'm just putting in an LED bulb that has a built-in flasher circuit. So when you apply the brake, it flashes 3 times and then goes solid. I really like those rear brake flashers. I usually put them on most of my bikes. It helps get the attention of those inattentive cagers that are too busy Instagramming and Facebooking while they're driving. So on the bikes that I don't have the rear flash, I always make it a motor memory habit to hit my brake lever twice before I actually pull it in. So I pulse it with my finger. It's easier to do that than with the foot pedal. So, you know, just tap that a couple times and then apply both brakes. But of course, that's a premeditated stop. You know, you got some forethought going on there. If it's a panic stop, or you're just busy and you don't have time, or whatever, closing distance doesn't permit your finger action going on there, and you just need to get slowed the hell down, well, obviously you can't pulse that rear brake. So it's nice to have those flasher circuits built in, and then it's just peace of mind. You know, it's going to do it every time. Then the other thing I'm doing to the Navi is putting in LED turn signals. And again, I'm keeping the original housings. I'm not going with aftermarket, you know, little flush mounts or anything silly like that. I'm going with super bright LED bulbs that have the built-in resistor, so they're CAN bus friendly and all that. I don't need that fanciness for the Navi, of course, because it's all analog, but by having the built-in load resistors, I won't need to change out the flasher. So it should work just fine with the factory mechanical flasher in there. We'll see. And then the last piece of that puzzle, which ties into the brake light portion of things, is I am converting over from AC to DC on the headlight side and tail light side. So I need to pull the plastics off of it and get to the regulator rectifier, pull the plug out, yank out I think it's the brown wire from the 6-pin harness, whatever it is, tape that off, and then make the jumper that goes from one side to the other to feed the headlight, tail light circuit with DC. So I'll do that all at once, just get it done, and then I got the LED headlight that I put in after that. I think I'm going to spend as much time over at the warehouse today and over this weekend as possible. So I'll most likely postpone that Navi project. I would like to get a bunch of reorganization and consolidation done at the warehouse so I can make that the productive space that I've been hoping and threatening to do for so long. I have a couple of much bigger projects that I would like to get started on for the Quasi Garage series, and one of them is going to be, well, 2 of them actually, but the first one is going to be restoring my CL175 Scrambler. I've got a 1970 Honda CL175, and it's pretty much ready to go. It just needs new front and rear tires and tubes, and I'm going to have to clean out the carburetors because it's been sitting so long now. And I would like to do the 12-volt conversion on that guy. I think, I'm trying to think, no, it's already 12 volt. I just need to get rid of that old selenium rectifier and go with a more modern regulator rectifier. put that thing back on the road, start riding it, have some fun. The second one of that larger rebuild series is going to be my 1978 Honda CB125S. That's been sitting in my garage in pieces now for several years. I bought it at a garage sale, of all things. It was originally from Missouri or something like that, I can't remember. And it sat in somebody's storage shed for an extended period of time and just, you know, kind of went to pot. So it wasn't a complete basket case, but it wasn't going to be a quick fix, you know. So the wheels were rusted out internally from water sitting in them and crazy stuff like that. So it needed a full going through. So I ripped it apart, tore it down to the frame pretty much, well, engine frame, tore everything else off of it. And the current state of affairs is it's sitting in about, I don't know, 3 bins in my garage. Engine and transmission are still together in one contiguous piece, but I need to even pull that apart to do some frame painting and stuff like that. So I'll probably strip it down just to the frame and have it powder coated. So that'll be a fun rebuild series. Put that thing back together. I'd like to keep it all original, completely stock if possible. And the only 2 things that I was missing to really get started on that project were the fuel tank, because mine has some perforations in it from rust. And I think it was the left side engine cover over here, you know, or not engine cover, but, you know, body cover, left side, had a puncture hole in it. And I couldn't find anywhere that has those original side panels at a reasonable price. Same with the tank. I found a place in the UK that had an original new old stock tank still sitting in a original factory package, but they wanted like $800 for the tank. No, that's more than I paid for the motorcycle. I paid like $700 for the motorcycle.